Welcome to the 2016-17 academic year and the Student Athlete Academic Support Services training video. My name is Bobby Smither and I'm the Senior Associate Athletics Director for the Student Athlete Academic Support Services program for the SDSU Athletics Department. As a tutor, you are a critical member of our team and we appreciate your time and dedication to supporting the academic efforts of our student athletes. The information contained within this video will help you become better acquainted with the Student Athlete Academic Support Services team and the unique demands and responsibilities of a tutor working with student athletes. Tutors foster active learning and motivation in the learning process by utilizing techniques that encourage students to analyze the course independently. The role of the tutor is to encourage students' thinking and clarify course material during individual and group tutorial sessions. The mission of the Student Athlete Academic Support Services program is to uphold the ideals of San Diego State University and its Intercollegiate Athletics Department. SAASS instills the values of education through creating a culture of academic integrity and professional development in order to enhance the holistic student-athlete experience. SAASS is dedicated to meeting the unique demands of student athletes by integrating a support system of campus and community resources. To help prepare you for the unique role of an athletics tutor, the following are several facts regarding student athletes. First of all, student athletes strive in the classroom. 313 scholar athletes were recognized last year for having a 3.0 cum GPA or 3.2 term GPA, which is roughly 60% of the entire student athlete population. The average GPA for all student athletes in the spring 2016 semester was a 3.01. And did you know that 94% of student athletes who exhaust their athletic eligibility at SDSU ultimately graduate? Student athletes also achieve athletically. Beginning with the 2012-13 academic year, SDSU has won 30 Mountain West Conference championships, which is by far the best in the Mountain West Conference. And beginning with the 2010-11 academic year, the football and men's basketball teams' combined winning percentage is third in the nation, behind only Ohio State and Louisville. The Student Athlete Academic Support Services staff is a team of 11 professionals who are here to support and assist should you ever have a question or issue. If you don't know the answer to a question a student athlete may ask of you, or are presented with a situation you're not sure how to handle, please reach out to a staff member for guidance. As a tutor, your responsibilities are to assist students in understanding course material while promoting independent learning during individual sessions. Report to all tutoring sessions, meetings, and training sessions on time and ready to work. Prepare and submit accurate tutor assessment and attendance forms in a timely manner. Maintain a high level of knowledge in the applicable academic content area. Be familiar with and follow the policies and rules of SAASS described in this manual. Maintain the confidentiality of student-athlete academic information. Collaborate with SAASS staff to ensure appropriate academic support for students. Maintain ethical integrity in accordance with policies and procedures as set forth by SAASS, SDSU, the Mountain West Conference, and the NCAA.
There are many do's and don'ts when discussing professionalism in the workplace. Our students are wonderful, friendly people, but you need to remember you are there to be a role model for them. As a role model, you must maintain confidentiality in regard to the student athlete's personal matters and must not engage in relationships with the student athletes outside of a professional setting. Tutoring sessions can and should be fun and engaging, but they need to be focused on the work at hand. You should be familiar with class policies and expectations, but don't feel the responsibility to remind students of due dates or assigned work. You should never speak to student athletes' instructors on their behalf. That's their job. Finally, the students take your opinions very seriously. Feel free to give them advice and guidance regarding academics, but please refrain from suggesting majors or areas of study for them to pursue without knowing their academic history.
Hi academic tutors, my name is Kelly Giblin. I'm the Director of Compliance here at San Diego State University. Today we'll be reviewing NCAA rules and their impact on the student athlete's eligibility. We'll also be reviewing rules that pertain to your role specifically as an academic tutor. If you have any questions throughout the year, please feel free to stop by our offices at any time or contact us at goaztexcompliance@mail.sdsu.edu. Thank you for your time and we look forward to working with you. Each student athlete attending a Division I institution must meet certain academic standards to be eligible to receive athletics aid, practice, and compete immediately. These standards include core course requirements, GPA requirements, and test score requirements. Each student athlete here at SDSU has already completed these. Now that the student athlete is enrolled here at San Diego State, there's a certain requirement based on year in school of percentage towards degree they must achieve in order to remain eligible each year. Along with degree percentage requirements, there are also GPA requirements. You can see the NCAA's GPA requirements are a bit different than San Diego State's, but here, each student athlete must at least earn a 2.0 GPA every year to remain eligible. Institutional control means we all have a responsibility to follow NCAA, conference, and SDSU rules and regulations. To make sure this takes place, please remember to be in communication with your direct supervisor. Please contact our office for any questions you may have, and please tell someone if any issues should arise that you think may impact the integrity of this institution. Unethical conduct is a term seen in most major investigations cases. This term is typically used when a prospective student athlete, enrolled student athlete, current staff member, or former staff member is involved in having a blatant disregard for the rules. Some examples include knowingly providing extra benefits, knowingly committing violations, knowingly being involved in academic fraud or academic misconduct, or being involved in banned substances or providing banned substances to student athletes. Please take this time to review the rest of this legislation laid out on this slide. Academic misconduct is a term that was defined by the NCAA and came into effect August 1, 2016. There are multiple types of academic misconduct we are going to review. Pre-enrollment academic misconduct has to do with providing fraudulent academic credit or false transcripts for a prospective student athlete, whether it's to the NCAA Eligibility Center, or an institution's admissions office. This includes being involved in any fraudulence or misconduct in connection with an entrance or placement exam for a prospect. Once a prospect triggers student-athlete status, they are expected to act with honesty and integrity in all academic matters. Post-enrollment academic misconduct includes any violation or breach of any institutional policy regarding academic honesty or integrity. A student-athlete should not be involved in any academic misconduct involving a current or former institutional staff member or representative of athletics interest, more commonly known as a booster. Academic misconduct can take place even without the involvement of a staff member or booster. This can be seen when an erroneous declaration of eligibility takes place, which allows a student-athlete to compete or receive athletics aid while they are actually ineligible. Also takes place when there is an erroneous award of an academic progress rate point. Academic misconduct also takes place when there is an altercation or falsification of a student-athlete's transcript or academic record while at San Diego State. Current staff members, former staff members, and boosters shall not be involved with the academic misconduct related to any student-athlete or the altercation or falsification of a student-athlete's transcript or academic record. They also shall not provide impermissible academic assistance to student-athletes. Please remember to never ask for a student-athlete's login account information to any SDSU accounts, including Blackboard. They must submit all of their own work. While you may be present during that time, you cannot be the one actually logged in on the computer and submitting work on their behalf. An extra benefit is any item of value that is not available to the general public or general student body. Please remember not to provide any extra benefits to student-athletes. This includes meals, drinks, merchandise, or any other item of value. Please review the following examples of what the academic staff can provide to a student-athlete to assist them when it comes to coursework. An occasional meal is a meal provided by either an institutional staff member or a booster to either one student athlete or a group of student athletes. An institutional staff member may provide the meal either on campus, at their home, or in the locale of the institution. While an occasional meal is permissible per NCAA rules, San Diego State does not encourage academic tutors to provide this benefit to student athletes. All athletic staff members are prohibited from gambling on any NCAA-sponsored sport at any level. This includes amateur sports, of Little League through collegiate, and any other entity. Gambling includes putting any item of value up on the front end for the opportunity to win any item of value on the back end. Please do not provide any medical information about our student athletes to the general public. Another form of gambling is point shaving. Please, under no circumstances, ever ask a student athlete to influence the outcome of a game by point shaving. All head coaches are responsible for the actions of any staff member who reports directly or indirectly to him or her. Each of you report indirectly to a head coach. Please note your actions can impact them negatively, including game suspensions. As an athletic staff member, you are responsible for reporting any known or suspected violations to your direct supervisor, as well as one of the 3 people listed on this screen. As an academic tutor, you are held to the same standard as any San Diego State Athletics employee. Please remember to keep any information about student athletes in-house, including injuries, academic situations, or NCAA violations. You are responsible for reporting any red flag situations to your direct supervisor. Please remember to maintain a professional relationship at all times and do not ask to be put on a complimentary pass list for any student athletes' competitions. Thank you for your time reviewing NCAA rules. Please direct any rules inquiry to our office, which is located on the 3rd floor of the Fowler Athletics Center. We look forward to working with you, and go Aztecs!
Fraternization between tutors and student athletes is strictly prohibited. As an employee of SDSU's Student Athlete Academic Support Services, you are not allowed to associate with student athletes outside of your scheduled tutoring appointments at the Fowler Athletic Center. Here are a few things to keep in mind. Do not arrange to meet with a student athlete outside of the Fowler Athletic Center to interact socially. Do not provide any type of extra benefit to student athletes. Here are a few things that would count as an extra benefit: typing papers, providing transportation, giving them money, or buying them a meal. These are just a few examples of what is considered as an extra benefit. If you are still unclear about what is considered an extra benefit, please talk to one of the Student Athlete Academic Support Services staff. Although the NCAA rules state that on a special occasion, student athletes may accept a meal or ride from an SDSU employee, this does not apply to you. You are not allowed, under any circumstance, to host a student athlete in your home. Intimate relationships between a tutor and a student athlete are strictly prohibited and will lead to job termination. Any pre-existing relationship with a student athlete must be documented. This list by no means is all-encompassing, but does provide a sample of the kinds of activities that are not allowed. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact one of the Student Athlete Academic Support Services staff. Thank you.
Please remember the following important expectations. Before you come into work, check your email and make sure you do not have any notifications from Grades First. Also make sure your email is accepting the emails from Grades First as normal emails, not as junk or spam. Once you're in the Student Athlete Support Service area and scheduled to work, please log in to Grades First in the lab to make sure your hours are being tracked by the payroll system. If you plan on using the SAASS employee as a reference when applying for a different job, please let the person know you listed him or her as a reference via email. Thank you.
At least once a semester, a member of the SAASS staff will observe one of your tutoring appointments. This gives the SAASS staff an opportunity to assess both your tutoring skills and the student athlete's level of engagement in your tutoring session. If you are being evaluated, please proceed with your tutoring session as normal. The SAASS staff will evaluate your tutoring techniques, knowledge of course material, and the learning environment you create for the student athletes. We would like to highlight any success or provide constructive criticism so that you can professionally develop. After your evaluation is complete, the tutor coordinators will provide you with copies of your evaluation form. If you have questions or concerns about your evaluation, please contact a staff member. At the end of the semester, you will also be asked to complete evaluations on your student athletes. This is an opportunity for you to notify the SAASS staff of any exemplary behavior or of any students who need to be coached on how to interact during tutoring appointments. However, if you have particular concerns or trouble with a student athlete, please do not wait until the end of the semester to notify a SAASS staff member.
Our tutoring staff are very valuable members of our team, and here is why. I'm going to cover basic NC2A eligibility rules that all Division I student athletes must comply with. First, let's discuss the minimum enrollment rule. All student athletes must be enrolled as a full-time student, which is a minimum of 12 units in order to practice and compete. For freshmen, the NC2A states that they must earn a total of 24 units in their first academic year, between fall, spring, and summer. In addition, all student athletes must earn a total of 18 units during the fall and spring semesters. Every fall and spring, all student athletes must pass a minimum of 6 units in each semester to compete in postseason or in the following semester. However, there is a football exception. Football student athletes must pass a minimum of 9 units each fall semester to be eligible to compete in the following fall. All student athletes are required to declare a major when entering their 3rd year. From this point on, students must make satisfactory progress towards that degree program. As you can see by this chart, the NC2A also requires all student athletes to complete a certain percentage of their degree requirements by the beginning of their 3rd, 4th, and 5th years of enrollment. Finally, all student athletes must maintain a 2.0 cumulative GPA to compete. Thank you for all you do.
Some of our student athletes have learning disabilities that can affect their academic performance. If you are told a student athlete has a disability or he or she discloses this information to you, please maintain strict confidentiality. As you're working with these students, keep in mind that they may learn differently than some of your other students. Ask them what they think will help, and if they don't have any suggestions, try different teaching techniques. Above all else, be patient. Don't assume they're just being lazy if you aren't getting the responses you are used to. Please feel free to ask the learning specialist for new techniques to make sure your tutoring sessions are effective as possible.
Grades First is a computer software that we use to coordinate and schedule all of our tutoring. You will use Grades First to check your daily appointments, write reports for each of your sessions, and no-show students if needed. This is what the Tutor home screen looks like for you. The home screen lists all of the recent appointments you've had, and as you can see in green, it shows whether you have submitted a tutor report or not. To file the tutoring reports or no-shows that we have mentioned, you just check the box next to each appointment, click on Actions, and then select to either mark the no-show or file the tutor report. This is what it will look like when you file the tutor report. These reports do not take long to fill out, and they are pretty self-explanatory. Remember, make sure you file your tutor report or no-show on the day of the appointment. It is important that we get this information in a timely manner so we can follow up with students about any concerns. Lastly, if you ever want an easy way to see what appointments you have every week or month, there is a calendar view on Grades First as well. The appointments in green are appointments that are scheduled, and anything in gray means it's canceled.
Thank you for all that you do. Your work is imperative to the success of our student athletes. Have a great year, and go Aztecs!